Speaking in his signature style, Howard begins, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another captivating edition of Howard's Opinion, your premier destination for incisive analysis and compelling discussions on the world of sports. I'm your host, Howard, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you join me today as we delve into the latest developments that are making headlines across the NFL. As we navigate through the complex tapestry of professional football, one story that has piqued my interest, and indeed that of many aficionados, is the evolving leadership dynamics within the Washington Commanders. At the heart of this narrative is Jayden Daniels, the young quarterback who has not only demonstrated exceptional prowess on the field, but is also rapidly emerging as a pivotal figure in the team's leadership structure. The recent revelation that Daniels took it upon himself to address a disciplinary issue during training camp, specifically by removing a player from the huddle due to a false start, speaks volumes about his growing maturity and understanding of what it means to lead by example. This act, while it may seem straightforward, underscores a profound shift in Daniels' approach to his role within the team. It's a testament to his commitment to upholding the highest standards of performance and discipline, not just for himself, but for every member of the squad. This development is particularly intriguing when considered against the backdrop of Terry McLaurin's current situation with the Commanders. McLaurin, who has recently been recognized as one of the top players in the league by being ranked No. 52 on the NFL's Top 100 list, finds himself at a crossroads with the team over contractual negotiations. His dedication to excellence and his contributions to the team's success cannot be overstated, yet the path forward remains uncertain. The juxtaposition of these two stories, Jayden Daniels' ascendance as a leader and Terry McLaurin's contract standoff, presents a fascinating study in contrasts. On one hand, we have a young quarterback embracing the responsibilities of leadership with aplomb, while on the other, a seasoned veteran navigating the complexities of his professional future. As we continue to explore these narratives and their implications for the Washington Commanders and the NFL at large, it becomes increasingly clear that the coming season will be marked by significant challenges and opportunities. The evolution of leadership within teams, the negotiation of player contracts, and the perpetual pursuit of excellence on the field are all themes that will undoubtedly shape the landscape of professional football in the months to come. And so, as we pause for a brief moment before diving deeper into these compelling stories, I invite you to stay tuned for more in-depth analysis and insightful commentary. We'll be examining the intricacies of team dynamics, player development, and the business side of the sport, all through the lens of what makes sports so captivating, the human element. We'll be right back with more fascinating sports news on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion. We're taking a break from the heavier topics to dive into the world of sports, and I've got some exciting news to share with you all. If you're a fan of track and field, you won't want to miss this. So, let's get right into it. The U.S. National Championships were held recently at Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon, and boy, did we see some impressive performances. Kenny Bednarik took home the gold in the men's 100 meters with a personal best time of 9.79 seconds. That's right, folks, this guy is fast. And what's even more remarkable is that he achieved this feat despite feeling cramps in both his calves around the 50-meter mark. Talk about grit and determination. But Bednarik wasn't the only one making waves at the championships. Melissa Jefferson Wooden dominated the women's 100 meters, leading from start to finish with a personal best and world-leading time of 10.65 seconds. That's tied for the fifth fastest time in the history of the event. This young woman is on fire, and I'm excited to see what she does next. And then there's Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, who cruised through the preliminary round of the women's 400 meters with a time of 49.59 seconds. This two-time Olympic champion is known for her incredible speed and agility, and it's clear she's still got it. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Howard, what about Sha'Carri Richardson? Well, unfortunately, she withdrew from the 100 meters due to an alleged domestic violence incident. It's a shame because this talented sprinter has been making headlines for all the right reasons lately. However, it's worth noting that she does have a bye into this year's World Championships in the 100 meters as the reigning champion. That's all for now, folks. It's been an exciting few days in the world of track and field, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these athletes do next. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion. We're wrapping up today's show with a fascinating story that's got everyone in the sports world talking. You know how it is. Trade deadlines can make or break a team's chances at glory. And this year's MLB deadline was no exception. So, let's dive right into it. The Los Angeles Dodgers are still looking strong, sitting atop the NL West with a yeeday 250 chance of taking home the World Series title. But they've got some stiff competition brewing in the form of the San Diego Padres, who made some savvy moves to bolster their roster. The acquisition of Mason Miller from the Oakland Athletics is being hailed as one of the biggest deals of the deadline. And it's easy to see why. The Padres are now sitting pretty at 1,800 odds. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Giants have taken a bit of a tumble, going 2-12 over their last 14 games, and effectively taking themselves out of the running. Not ideal for the Giants, but it's great news for bookmakers like Caesars Sports, who had some significant liability on the team. And then there's the Seattle Mariners, who are looking like dark horses after making some shrewd trades to beef up their lineup. The return of Eugenio Suarez is a major coup, and with their solid rotation and pitcher-friendly ballpark, they're starting to look like a real contender. In fact, Caesars Sports has them sitting at 1,600 odds, which isn't too shabby. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Howard, what about the Yankees? What about the Tigers? Well, let me tell you, the American League is wide open this year, and it's anyone's game. The Mariners might just be the sleeper pick we've all been waiting for. That's all for today's Howard's Opinion. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, these are some of my humble thoughts.